You get teleported to the day you were born with all the memories from your past life, but you're now an infant. What do you do? I would cry like a baby. So would I, knowing what is to come. Probably have some form of internal crisis. Knowing me, forget it all. That'd be sad. Start talking and people would absolutely freak the F out. I think with the body of an infant, it would be very hard to speak. You could think and get a giant head start, even plan your first words, but it'd take a couple days at least. Babies are limited by tongue size. Their tongues are too big for their mouths to speak for months at the very least. Then you'd have more time to plan your first words then. That's pretty pog. This human form is limiting. Hello mother, it is me. The spawn of Satan. Hello humans. I have come. My name Jeff. Honestly? I would spend most of my time feeling very awkward about breastfeeding and crapping my diaper. Not sure I would want to go there. Potty training should be a pretty quick process at least. Speak for yourself. Well, as an infant technically all I could do would be cry, eat and crap. Not enough motor or language skills to do anything else no matter what memories I have. Yeah, you'd basically just be sitting there ruminating on all the embarrassing crap you did in your past life, which is basically all I do now, but you would have to do it between crapping your pants and crying. Plus, nobody would let you get stoned to escape? Pass. The first words out of my mouth won't be mama or dada, they'll be one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all and in the darkness bind them. Encourage my parents to get divorced much sooner. It's hard to imagine that conversation. Just flip everyone off. Even my mom. They won't suspect a thing and it'll come off as cute. I've been preparing for this scenario a long time. Me too. It's fascinating. So what you do in your free time? It's kind of complicated. What do you know about time travel? Is always my pickup line. Feel like an idiot for not remembering any huge lottery winning numbers. But you remember that Bitcoin exists. Same. I'd be too young for any cryptocurrency or devices. Edit, read the replies. Thanks. Now I have to look up when the peak was in case I time travel at some point. Edit, thanks everyone, I'll send you some bitcoins when I finally time travel all the way back to this moment. Doesn't really matter. It's at $14,000 currently, and is in the thousands continuously for 4+ years now. If you bought in at 10 cents or mined a few of them every day for months, you're set for life anyways. Invest money, so I can do fun stuff from age 30. Do better in school. Make sure I still meet my wife. Oh, that's stress. Meeting your wife, that'd be tough. I think meeting my wife would be easy. I know where she lived and what she liked. Through window, hey you like, thing. Not a question. You like it. Who are you? Your future husband turns daddy, there's a creep by my window. Get the gun. Yeah, I might even meet my wife sooner. She had a rough period before we met where she badly hurt her knee and felt like there was no one there to care for her. I'd just tell her not to slip on that bath mat in the first damn place. But barring that, I'd want to be there for her. Fast forward, backwards? And we find r/relationships post where some poor young woman is like, so I have a really nice partner, who I adore, but I can't for the life of me understand this weird policy we now have where we've installed this step in elderly people bathtub and the whole house is covered in rubber locker room flooring. My partner just shrugs and says it's for safety, but I can't help think it's a weird fetish. I think they have a safety fetish. Where all the words are safe words. Interestingly enough, this is the idea behind one of the characters in Jonathan Hickman's X-Men series currently. Moira McTaggart has the mutant ability of reincarnation when she dies, but she is born into the same life with the same parents and time frame but with all of the knowledge of her past lives. It's very interesting, probably my favorite comic book run in a long time. Sounds a lot like The First 15 Lives of Harry August, by Claire North. Basically the exact same premise, without the mutant part. Millionaire percent, speedrun. Apple, Google, Amazon, YouTube, Tesla, etc. Pretty sure time travel would be the most lucrative business ever. To the 50th plus person, bitcoins would be packed of the etc. Google, here we come. Bitcoin and AMD when it was at 2. Man, I was such a big proponent of AMD at that price point, I just didn't have any money to spend on it at the time. My boss claims he bought some shares around then. We used to chat about our favorite stocks all the time, but I have no clue if he's yanking my chain or not. He won't give me any details. Crap, I'd have to wait 30 years to hear these election results. I would tell people not to tell Trump jokes at that press corp dinner. I would have a really hard time breastfeeding from my mom. Stop crapping and pissing my pants, cause having my mom or dad clean my Johnson and ass is also pretty effing weird. I'm afraid you still would though. They won't put you on the toilet, you can't open the door to the toilet, and you can't hold it in forever. Speak for yourself. I'm going to have to stop you right there. Oedipus, is that you? Figure out how to talk as soon as possible so I can warn my parents about the hip dysplasia the doctors missed in all of my baby checkups and make sure they do something about it before I start walking and my femur starts sinking into my own body, which is what actually happened. MMO. Wow, he says his first words, mother, go to the doctor and let him check if I have hip dysplasia. Wow, I'm speechless. Unlike the baby. I fantasize about this scenario often, and after many iteration I came to a point where I was debating if the ungodly amount of money/fame I can earn is worth all the crap I have to go through again in life. Earning money won't be an issue, but as a baby it's probably going to be difficult to fully flex your information immediately. And even if you convince your parents to do so and get rich, you have to wonder if it would actually make things worse than how it was in your first life. Money does not guarantee a better family, and if your family was already not the best growing up, then I'd assume your priority would be to make your family better. And that isn't as easy as investing in Apple at the right time. Changing people is going to be hard, you might even make things worse. And if you were unfortunate enough to have a really evil person in your family, then I don't know if you would even want to interact with them again. You could change a lot for the better with the information you have, but now you're living life wondering if you have prevented that event that happened in your first life, and also wondering if the changes you've made will lead to some unfortunate events. Imagine a scenario if a loved one who was alive in your first life but dies in your second life due to the change in reality that you caused. That would haunt you till your second life ends. This scenario is ripe for being a monkey's pay type wish. Of course the whole thing changes if you had infinite chances at redoing your life, but if it was only the one go, it might not be as easygoing as it seems. Imagine a scenario if a loved one who was alive in your first life but dies in your second life due to the change in reality that you caused. That would haunt you till your second life ends. It's worse than that. If you've got kids, then they're almost definitely not going to be reborn the second time around. There aren't any therapy sessions for people who have lost their children to time travel shenanigans. You can get remarried to the same person, but do you tell them about the children that you had together in the other life? Do you tell your new children about their temporarily lost siblings? Maybe you can get married to someone new from far away from your hometown, and then you can share your grief of your lost children and just hope they don't talk to anyone and find out that nobody else in your life remembers your children or previous spouse and that there's no record of any of it happening. There actually are therapy sessions for that essentially. Some coma and trauma can live full years or decades while unconscious. There's even reported cases of people living years while knocked out from just a car accident. Imagine waking up right now to find out you were in a car accident on the way to your senior high school class. All your college and work experiences were fake. Your wife and kids don't exist. You're still 17. This has happened to people. Get my family to invest in Apple and Amazon, and buy a bunch of Bitcoin. Also, become a world-famous oracle by being a child who predicts 9/11, and save Harambe. Save Harambe, but only predict 9/11? I mean, It'd be pretty hard for a kid from Europe to prevent 9/11, but predicting it, and probably some other things as well, would add an aura of mystery around me. I got to make myself an oracle, so that I can prevent the death of Harambe by forming a cult. Predicting 9/11 is a fast ticket to Guantanamo for waterboarding. If you don't know what the words mean, waterboarding at Guantanamo Bay sounds like an awesome vacation. I'd see it exclusively as a second chance, as a do-over. A way to not F up the things I've F'd up and not hurt the people I've hurt. Maybe start getting into my interests from a younger age when my brain is still working like a child and absorbs knowledge like a sponge. Seriously, I wouldn't even try to exploit my knowledge of the future to make money or achieve world domination or help the Sixers get a championship by telling them whom to draft. That seems like hubris. I already have more than enough regrets to keep me occupied without needing to fly too close to the sun. Too long didn't read, a second playthrough where you know how to avoid the newbie traps. More or less the same here. Thanks for watching. Comment on what you think was the best part of this video. Subscribing and hitting that notification bell on YouTube is a great way to get our content. You can also watch it on Facebook. A link to our page is in the description. See you soon.